Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if you have been watching me and you have not yet subscribed, please hit that subscribe button to help my channel to grow. And today I have a very interesting review. I'm going to review a side hustle on selling items on Jumia platform. I'm going to discuss the ins and outs, the advantages and disadvantages. I will also share my recommendations and how I've experienced selling items on Jumia. I opened my store last year in November, so I will share with you details like everything I've earned, how much commissions Jumia have taken, and discuss how I've experienced this and tell you whether it's a good choice to have a side hustles or not. Before we get into the video, I would like to introduce you to an ebook that I've written from my personal experience of working online. I've been able to compile different online jobs that you can work in different career category. For instance, if you are in accounting, if you're in healthcare, if you are a teacher, if you are a software developer, if you're a graphic designer, if you're an architecture, if you're in HR, you are a receptionist. Every career, I have broken it down in every single chapter to tell you the kind of jobs that you can look for online. This book is a guideline to guide you on areas that you can look for job. And the most important thing or the best part of this book is the introduction. I have written my story. I have shared with you my story on how I began my online hustling or online jobs until today. I am 11 years in and I'm loving it. So to get this book, check in the description below. There is a link. Purchase the book and it will automatically be sent to your email. Currently, I am running an offer for the first 30 days where I will be selling this book 700 shillings, so you can save 300. So if I were you, I would grab this opportunity to buy this book at 700 Kenyan shillings instead of waiting for 1 month and then buy it at 1000 Kenyan shillings. So let's get back to the video. I'm going to share my screen and show you how much I've made from last year until now, and then I discuss about the advantages and disadvantages and entirely my whole experience, because this channel is about personal finance and development, and I will also be sharing my own personal journey and recommend things that have worked for me and things that have not worked for me. But one thing you need to know is something can fail to work for me, but it can work for you, and something can work for me and it can fail to work for you. So all in all, this is just information to guide you to see whether it's something that you want to venture in or not. So this is what I made from November 2024 to 31st of August 2025. So after I shipped my items, I listed them in November. On November, I did not sell anything. My first sale came in on December of the same year, where I sold one phone case, and that's how much I got. Yeah, so my store is basically phone cases and finger strengthener and games. I will show you my Jumia store in a minute. Yeah, but that's how I sold. And in this spreadsheet, I've not subtracted the cost of packaging, the cost of shipping the item, and also the cost of buying the item, and the cost of me going to the hub to take the products, because all that is costs for running the business. So in January I made sales. That's how much I made. April, this is for, I also made sales, and that's how much I made, 580 shillings. And then in the 5th month this year is where I made a lot of sale, and this is after I introduced new products, which is the educational toys, games, and I made a lot of sales that month. That is including finger strengtheners. I sold a bit of everything that I had posted, and that is the month I made the most. That is the 5th month. And then the 6th month I didn't sell anything. The 7th month I also sold a lot of items, and then I made 5,320 shillings. I also sold the games and everything. In the 8th month, I also sold games. I sold a couple of phone cases, and that's how much I made. So cumulatively in December, that's how much I made. In January, I made 1,870. In April, I made 580. May, I made 12,430. This is my best month still. In July, 5,320. August, 4,740. So in cumulative, without counting my September sales, I've made 25,730. You can see that all these sales is not something that you can really depend on, because you can see from December to August, this is the much I've made. I have not yet subtracted the cost of the items. I've not subtracted the cost of the packaging and the transport cost to take the items to the hub. That's why I was saying this business, it's not viable for someone who wants to depend on it, like to pay major bills. But this, you can use it to pay small bills like electricity or airtime, or buy for yourself that lunch in that hotel that you wanted. But when it comes to paying bills, then this one is good. It's better placed as a side hustle. So let me show you what my store looks like. Okay, so this is my store. These are the products that I am selling. The phone cases, the games. You can see the educational toy games. Right now they are on offer. And the finger strengthener. This is the product that I had said that I bought it out of hype, but I sold but around 10 pieces. So I still have the products, but this product did not perform well, but the rest of the items are performing well. If you see anything that you'd love to buy, check in the description below. There is the link for this store. You can just check, go through it and see whether there is something you'd like to buy and then purchase. I believe that this information will help you decide whether you would love to sell things on Jumia. And if you want to venture into selling things on Jumia, now you have an overview of how it works and you can actually do it as a side hustle. Now that you have seen what I've made since last year until last month, I want to discuss the advantages. I wrote them down so that I do not forget. Advantage number one with Jumia is there is no store fees. Unlike other platforms like Shopify where there is a monthly fee, in Jumia there are no fees. What happens is anytime you make a sale, they take a commission out of it. The second thing is the system updates automatically. So when you get a return not a return, or a return actually and a failed delivery, and you go and pick it from the hub, it updates automatically in your system that if you had sold out, you remain with 2 items and you get a failed delivery, it will update automatically. It doesn't need you to manually update. And also when you sell, it also updates. So if you had 3 items, you have sold 2, it updates to 1. But one thing you need to note is that when you sell items offline, then you will need to update the data by yourself, because when you sell online, maybe you had 10 items and you have managed to sell on other platforms, maybe it's Facebook, TikTok, or WhatsApp, then you will need to manually go and update so that you don't get an order and you don't have enough stock for it. The third thing I've loved about Jumia Store, it keeps track of everything. Like you have seen my data, I'm able to pull my data, all of it from when I started selling from Jumia until now. If you want to check how much you have made, how many sales you have made, you can just go and click and export that data. Another advantage of Jumia is you can list as much as products as you want. You can make a list of products as many as you want to sell. There is no limit. Just because you're not paying for it does not mean it will limit you. No, you can post many products. And I tend to think if you have many products in your store, then you are more likely to make more money because you are targeting different clients. Another advantage is it's a good side hustle because there is no work. The only work you need when you get an order is taking that item to the hub so that it can be shipped. But after that, Jumia takes care of everything. It gets delivered. If the client had selected post pay, then they will pay at delivery. So the Jumia person will not give the product to the buyer if they have not cleared their payment. So all those logistics, Jumia takes care of it. The only thing you need is to upload your products, have them in stock, and take them to the hub anytime you get an order. Payments are automatic. I think they have 3 paydays in a month, which is a good thing. So if your products are moving fast, then you are able to get income more often than when your products are moving slowly. Like if you have not sold for a month, and then you sell in the other month, you see you have a whole month where you have not gotten any income. But the payments are automatically to the place that you have linked. If you link to bank, you'll also get them in your bank account automatically. The challenges or the disadvantage is having a failed delivery. You see, the reason a failed delivery is a disadvantage is because remember you spent fare to go to the hub where you gave your product. It was packaged. You pay for that packaging. You normally pay for packaging for Jumia. You pay for packaging and then it is shipped. When it failed, you experience a failed delivery. A failed delivery is whereby a customer orders and they do not go and pick it from the location or from their delivery point. Before, it used to be, I think, 3 days, but now they have extended. They give a grace period of 5 days or 7, I'm not sure. So if those days elapse and they have reached to that customer every now and then, and the customer is not responsive, then it goes back to the hub. So the disadvantage is, remember, you'd already put the work of paying the fare to go and put and give out that product, and then it fails, it comes back, and you'd already paid for packaging, and you'll still pay another fare to go to the hub to pick that item. So you understand, those are some of the challenges I experienced, and those are things that you are more likely to experience when you start selling items on Jumia. The second disadvantage is more like you have to take the product to the hub anytime you get an order. So to make sure that like you don't use a lot of fare, you can use a hub that is near your location. They have different hubs. You can just go check and then use the one which is near you. This means that when you're pricing your products, make sure you factor in the fact that you will be spending your fare to go to the shop. So you have to do your mathematics and understand that that cost needs to be covered in your business. So you need to know how you're going to distribute it in your products. The third challenge is the cost of starting. Okay, the cost of starting can actually be zero, technically. Let me explain. You can decide to take photos online, like fast moving items. Let's say, for instance, utensils. You can just download the images and put them on your Jumia store. But here is the challenge. When you get an order, you need to go and buy. Maybe you have already identified where you'll be getting that product in a wholesale price. So you need to go and buy from that shop and then ship it via Jumia. You understand? So there is that cost that will incur of products if you don't have those products. The other cost is you can decide to stock the items. You can decide to go downtown or in the wholesale shops, buy them and then stock them and then post them on Jumia. So anytime you get an order, then you take it to the hub. You understand? So the cost will be for the products, but not for running the shop on Jumia. The other disadvantage or challenge is cost of packaging. Every time you get an order, you will pay for packaging. The other challenge is commissions. So you will find that putting products on Jumia, you may not be able to sell them at the lowest price possible because of the commission, and obviously factoring in logistics to take it to the hub and the packaging fees. My recommendations will be sell items on Jumia if you already have another source of income. You cannot depend entirely on items you are selling on Jumia. Like that cannot be your only source, because you can see it's seasonal and sometimes you can go months without selling. So my recommendations would be, if you have another job that is giving you income, then this one you can do it as a side hustle when you are starting. But things would change. Maybe as you continue, you will get more products, as you can sell products that are moving, then you can make more income. But for me, selling on Jumia, it's a side hustle. That's what I would recommend. Another recommendation will be, if you have enough money, you can sponsor ads on Jumia. Personally, I've never sponsored an ad on Jumia because I do not depend entirely on this source of income, and I'm still growing it. So I'm technically like 11 months in, and that is not enough time to actually depend on a business. If you have ever run a business, you know that you can run a business even for like 3 years before you can actually depend on it to pay major bills in your life. This means if you want to sell things on Jumia, you need to be patient enough to give it time to grow and give yourself room for mistakes, because you could bring a product and it could never sell, or you could just sell few pieces and then it dips. For instance, like for me, I made a mistake of ordering the finger strengtheners, and these finger strengtheners, I just bought them out of hype on social media. I've only sold like, I think 10 pieces so far. Yeah, so you can see that product, I bought them, but it has not given me back the money I spent on it. So give yourself room for mistakes. Another thing is, if you do not know how to shop from China, I would suggest to get a local wholesale. Like, let's say you want to sell phone accessories. There are so many shops in Nairobi where you can get those items in wholesale, so you can use them to test the market. You can get a few pieces, post them, and see how it goes. So if you do not know how to ship from China, then I would suggest you go for wholesalers in Nairobi and start there. But if you know how to shop in China, that is using the Alibaba platform, that's the platform that I normally use to buy my products. If you're interested also in knowing and understanding how to ship things from China, I can do a one-on-one consultation on it and guide you on how to do it. So if you're interested and you want me to show you how you can ship actually items from China, and also to help you know what items you can actually buy, is you can reach out to me via Instagram. My Instagram link is in my bio here on YouTube, so you can just click on it, drop me a message on IG, then we can link up. But the consultation is at a fee. If you don't want to pay the fee, then you can just you can do research, you can go watch. There are a lot of content here on how to ship items from Alibaba. Then you can just do it. For me, if you want to cut across all the clutter, you don't want to get tired, you can just book a consultation with me. Reach me on IG and then we can set up. I can show you how to ship, how to look for valid suppliers from China, and also give you my shipping agent that I've been using since last year. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you in the next one.